You gotta stay down, bro. You gotta stay down. But I know it sounds really cliche, but it's like you really have to be delusional, and you have to believe that there's no other way and no other option, and that and that you're willing to do whatever it takes, but while not compromising your morals.
Bro, so I'm gonna start it off.
That's how we doing it? Okay, cool. We here.
I'm giving you coffee today.
Yeah.
But also, I want to give you your flowers. Cause dog, you are behind some of people's favorite fucking songs, and no one knows, bro. Like when I found out you produced Good Ass Kid by chance.
Yeah, Grown Ass Kid, yeah.
Yeah, Grown Ass Kid, my bad. Bro, that was like my favorite song back in like 2018, and I was like fucking losing my shit when I found out. I was like geeking.
I did that with Cam Obi. That was like I think we did that in 2015. But yeah, it leaked, I think, or something.
Yeah, it was on SoundCloud.
It was supposed to be on a coloring book.
Oh, that was supposed to be a coloring book?
Yeah, it didn't get cleared because it was a replay, sample replay.
That's how I want to start it off. You're a fucking legend, and you're appreciating the game, bro.
I appreciate you, dog. Thank you. That shit kind of tight.
Yeah, bro, I mean, it's a science, my bro.
Yeah. No, I know. I already know it's going to be good.
Chicago, right?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised?
Born and raised Chicago, yeah.
How was growing up in Chicago like?
It's cool, man. A lot of diversity, but also it's a very segregated city. So, like, certain areas, certain pockets, it's like one street. It will divide, like, whether it's Latino and then black neighborhoods or Puerto Rican, Polish neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's very much like that. But it's a lot of rage in our city too, so that's why the music comes out the way it comes out, whether it be soulful or whether it be drill. So it's very just a lot of rage.
Bro, because I went to Chicago once, and that was one of the first things I noticed, like really diverse. Is it because I'm living in Texas right now?
Yeah.
And like Texas kind of has this pockets where it's like, bro, I'll go like a week and realize, man, I don't speak English this whole week. Because like you're just going to like, I go like the Arabic restaurant, the Arabic store, Arabic whoever. Is that kind of like the same way in Chicago?
Same thing, bro, yeah. Yeah, bro, it's so many just Latinos in general, bro. I mean, we have a neighborhood called Humboldt Park that's, predominantly Puerto Rican. They got a big Puerto Rican flag as soon as you drive in, two of them on two streets, and then you have like spaces like Little Village, 26 in California.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you have places. I mean, you have all types of cultures and stuff. It's just so much in that city, and yeah, it's tight, bro. It's cool.
How does that seep into like the way that you make music?
I mean, it has to influence somehow. I mean, just all the like. It's your environment, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you even said, like sometimes you don't even be speaking English the whole week. You be going to different stores. And
Word.
It'd be like that. And I speak Spanish and English, but I'm also first generation. So my parents came from Mexico to the United States, and so I learned Spanish first, and then I learned English. But
so English was your second language?
Yeah, but when I was a little kid, I picked up quick. I mean, obviously, for me, but technically it was my second. I learned Spanish first, and they try to play you and put you in ESL, like you don't know English.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Low-key racist.
And then they try to play you, say you got ADHD, try to get you Ritalin. Fuck all that, I ain't do none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? That's how it was for me though, you know what I'm saying?
So did you feel the difference, you growing up as like a first gen amongst like, were all your other friends first gens too? Or
most of them. I had some that were actually friends that were born in Mexico too, that came straight from Mexico, but for the most part, that's first generation. So yeah.
I feel like that changes like, kind of like the outlook of how you look at shit, because like for us having first generation, like and like our parents being immigrants, like when your parents come here, they can't like take risks, like they have to do shit that like they know works.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like okay, like now we can like explore our creative side a little.
Absolutely.
So like, was that hard, like kind of translating that to, like to your parents?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
think even making this album and being in this space, I grew more empathy for, a better understanding for them.
Yeah.
And knowing that it doesn't come from a place of like, it comes from a place of love. They come here, they come to this country to seek a better life. And so for them, that better life for their kids would be, stability and security. So, having a college degree, having a nice home, having, you know what I'm saying? And that for them is like, you made it. But then it's like, you think about it, you come to this country, what you expect? You could be anything you want to be, right? So
Within reason, yeah.
But you can do anything you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you come here, you can do anything you want. You want to be a pilot, you want to be a chef, you want to be a whatever you want to be. And it's like coming from where we come from, there's not, you really can't be too many things. So like, what did you think was gonna happen when we have all this at our fingertips? You know what I'm saying? And especially now growing up, like I'm 35, so I'm like still from the era of being outside and then internet introduced and then growing up with internet. So like, and then once the internet came, bro, it was game over. It was it. Like then it's like, oh, I could really do anything I want because now I'm connected to the whole world.
Was that weird transitioning to like? Yeah. Because like, and we'll get to this a little later about like you starting producing, but like one thing that I was thinking is because like, bro, you've seen kind of like all different phases. Like you come from the era. And I'm not trying to say like you old.
I'm a young OG. You feel me? I accept that role for sure.
But like you come from an era where it was like you couldn't, if you wanted to make something out of yourself, you couldn't just do it behind a computer screen. Like things had to be a lot more like physical.
Yeah, you had to go pull up on people and actually network and meet people. I think that was one of the things that I'm very like grateful for because I met so many people along the way that to this day I still work with, still collaborate with. But then I also use the internet to my favor and met a community of other producers I would have never met if they weren't online. And it all started on MySpace. You know what I'm saying? That's where we all met. It was either future producers, it was a site called Rock Battle, and it was in MySpace. And that's how I met a lot of my friends that I'm still friends with to this day. Like they're all producers, and that's where we met.
Yeah, it's hard to like. Because some people get stuck in their ways and they get stuck in the old head ways, quote unquote. But I feel like for you, like you did a really good job of kind of like understanding what the youth is saying now and kind of like adapting to that.
And it tripped me out too, bro. Because I'd be like, damn, I don't feel, I'm not old. I'm 35. I don't
Man,
feel
30's
old.
the new 20s,
but but it's like I be making music and it's like I have a little cousin and he's like a senior in high school now, I think, and he's putting like songs up on his page I produce, and I'm like, damn, this little 17-year-old kid is resonating with something I'm making. I'm 30, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember when that's 20 years ago type shit almost. You know what I'm saying? It trips me out a little bit, but honestly, it don't matter because music is like it just doesn't matter if it's good. It's gonna resonate and reach all types of people. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask, bro, how was it like? Cause even though he be kind of on some bullshit, I'm a Kanye fan. Yeah, huge Kanye fan.
Yeah, same.
So, how was that like growing up in Chicago when you had like College Dropout coming out, when you had like Food and Liquor coming out? Because like for me, I'm a little younger, so I had to like play catch up. So like, how was like the feel of the city?
I was a sophomore, bro. I think a sophomore in high school in 06 when Food and Liquor came out, and me and I had a really good friend, my best friend in high school. We used to do everything together, bro. He was like, he's one of those kids that you could like, he'll do anything, he'll learn everything quick. Yeah. Like he'll start like graphic, like we'd be in graphic arts and he would just be crazy at Photoshop. He want to make beats in a week. He'll learn how to make beats. But we studied Food and Liquor, bro. Like we studied that album top to bottom, and that was such an influential album to me, because it was a classic. And even the one that leaked that never came out, the original one was a classic too. Food and Liquor, honestly, there's the one that came out that leaked, and the one that actually came out was the other version of it, right? Yeah. So there's two versions of Food and Liquor, but they're both classic, but that was such a defining album of my teenage years.
What else were you listening to?
Damn, I was listening to obviously I was listening to Late Registration. That was my first Kanye concert. The Touch the Sky tour. Touch the Sky tour, was it? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was the first one.
Was that the one when he's like running across stage?
I think it might have been, yeah. It might have been that one, bro. But I think it was a Touch the Sky tour. That was my first Kanye. I listened to a lot of like my style, bro. And when I started making music, was very like aggressive. It was like my first opportunity was 50 Cent. That was the first person that gave me.
We're gonna get into yeah.
So like it was that type of music, and then like my influences were Dr. Dre and Kanye West. So like I love Kanye for the sample chops and even his drums, but Dr. Dre was influenced like cause sonically it just like that was the standard to me. That is the standard. Like
how everything's like glued together.
Man, it's just he's the best, and like so it was like Dre and Kanye were like my two, like, you know what I'm saying, two goats.
It's funny that you mentioned like the music that you were making before, because I was gonna ask you, when you think of like Chicago, what do you like sound wise? What do you hear?
Rage.
Rage?
I hear it's rage, bro. It's soul. Even the soul, even the content of the lyrics, even the things that are soulful and whatever, it's saying something. It's talking about some real shit. You know what I mean? And then you have another version of it that's drill, saying, you know what I'm saying? It's like almost sometimes both people are saying the same thing, but with a different background. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting, because like something that you do in your music, we'll get into a little later, is that like you had like the minus the bullshit, where it was kind of like this, like it was literally a voice memo of you getting fired.
That's real too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
real.
crazy.
That's real.
Yeah, well, he went at your neck.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah.
He went at your neck, bro. But like, it's like it's something dark, but over like crazy, beautiful string arrangements. Do you feel like when you say that like there's rage and soul, do you feel like is that because you want to feel better? Like, is that like a byproduct of the darkness, or like what?
That's exactly, that's how you said it, a byproduct of that, and the way to transmute it, and the way to express it, right?
Yeah.
But like how you said it, what you said about the like that part of the album, the intro, that was my whole like, that was my goal, was like, you got some bullshit happening, but over this beautiful, like, you know what I mean, like the juxtaposition of this shouldn't match, but it does match. And that album too was just like, man, there was a lot of shit going on in my life that like I started going to therapy around that, like a little bit before that, but it made me make that album because I was like, damn, bro, this is some shit. This is a way that I'm really just like turning, you know, shit into sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I made that album. But it's definitely interesting. And he was definitely mad. And that was my last job. That was my last job before I moved to LA. He left me that voicemail 2 days before I moved to LA. So
shit.
Yeah, and I was hot. I was like, he really came for me, but I thought about it like, you know what, doesn't matter, bro. This is my old life. Like I have a new life waiting for me. And so I just did.
I went to Chicago once. Man, I need to get the name of this restaurant.
Yeah.
It is, because my boy took me there and it was crazy. Rico Benny's.
Damn, I remember Rico Benny's.
You ever heard of it?
Damn, bro. Is it new? Or is it?
No,
or is
bro,
it
it's like old.
Where's it at? Yeah, what kind of food is it?
It was like Reuben sandwiches.
Oh shit!
I was gonna ask, like, bro, if I'm going to Chicago for the first time, what's the starter pack of where the places I need to hit?
You gotta go to. I mean, you like Puerto Rican food?
Yeah, I'll look.
All right, so you gotta go to Jibarito y Mas. That's like where the Jibarito is a Puerto Rican sandwich that was invented in Chicago. So instead of bread, it's just two plantains, like two fried plantains, and you can get steak or chicken. Shit is the most amazing thing you're gonna eat, bro. But you just don't eat nothing beforehand.
Well,
let it be your first meal. Yeah, bro, because the rice, Puerto Rican rice is gonna fill you up, but it's incredible. You gotta go there. You gotta go to. I mean, man, bro. I mean, you gotta get some pizza. You can go.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I went to Pequod's.
Oh, Pequod's, yeah.
Man, bro, it's
what'd you think?
Fucking, bro, I have to eat pizza with a spoon.
But what did you? Oh, yeah, you had a.
I had the deep dish. Are you tavern style?
Yeah, bro. That's what a real Chicago motherfucker gonna eat.
Really?
Yeah, deep dish is like, I don't know. I mean, it's like touristy.
Yeah,
I feel like it's touristy.
I'm trying to hold it. I'm like, bro.
No. Nah, fuck with the tavern style, bro. No thin crust, cutting little squares and shit. That's the way we eat it for real. There's Italian Fiesta. There's there's Harold's. There's Cleo's Southern Kitchen. I think it's on 43rd and Cottage Grove. But you gotta wait like about an hour to get your food. But like that shit's incredible, bro.
That's crazy.
Mexican food is a spot called Burrito Amigo. Amazing. Yeah, we go. It's got good food, bro.
You can go. I think that's the beauty of Chicago, how diverse it is.
Yeah.
How was high school like? When did you start like actually producing?
I started making music. I started fucking around like probably freshman year. I used to go to my homie crib, and he used to have this DJ program that it had already loops, and it was a CD program.
Yeah.
So it had loops in it already, like drum loops and music sounds. So I just started kind of like discovering what it was that I was trying to do.
What gear like?
Because it was computer, but it was just on a computer. Like I had no gear. This was freshman year, and I was just.
What year was this?
Freshman year was 05, 04, 05. Freshman year, I graduated 07, so it was 04 probably.
Because now, the producing environment, like when I think about like you guys making beats in the early 2000s, to me that's the real magic. Because it's like, I don't even know like how do you guys like get drum kits? How do you guys get like VSTs? And I feel like now it's like a lot. There's so many options of like, bro, like everyone's gonna use the Zay 808, you know?
Yeah, I feel like, again, where the generation that I'm in, it was like right in the beginning of like not having to like, you know, cause like, bro, back then they had to like carry gear, you know, like.
Yeah, they had to bring their fucking MPC.
MPCs, a Motif, Phantom, records, like all this shit. And it's like, when I started, you didn't have to do all that. But I love the fact that like just the technology advanced so much, because like, bro, you got 13-year-old like kids making beats in 5 minutes and they're fire. Because
have you seen the speed runs?
Yeah, but they understand. I mean, the information is there for them. They have tutorials online. Like when I was growing up, it was one video of Just Blaze making a beat. I think it was on Smack DVD. He still had his locks.
Yeah,
and he was making a beat, and it was that one and Timbaland playing beats for Jay-Z on the Black album DVD. So we didn't really have like. Now you watch your favorite producer make a beat on Rhythm Roulette, on whatever
Monty
it is.
Booker, Twitch stream, Kenny
yeah,
Beats.
Literally, yeah. So like you can just watch them make it and you go, oh shit, so the information is there. And that's good. I mean, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? But it does oversaturate things a little bit. But I still feel like I still feel like if you got that shit, bro, it's gonna eventually.
You can craft it, because even now you have like Splice. You go on Splice and you find
Splice too. Splice
whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Do you feel like because of the lack of resources that you had back then? Because I feel like now it's, I don't know. I'm not split, but like it's good that we have this many resources. Like what you said, the 13-year-old can go on FL tomorrow and remake like his favorite beat by watching 2 YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, and you can chime in. Like I also feel like sometimes it leads to a lot of like mimicking.
Yeah, and we all did it at one point. We all are gonna mimic.
That's how you
the person that we look up to, because that's how you fell in love with him. But through that process, at some point you need to find out what your thing is, and that's the hardest thing as a producer, is finding out your signature.
How was your process like finding out your signature sound through the lack of resources? Like, did you having the lack of resources, did that make you have to get creative with like whatever you had to use?
Yeah, that, and like also just like I started sampling, so like so me, I had again one of my close friends that I met who was from Corpus Christi, Texas. Met him on MySpace. His name is QB, and me and him started making beats together. So we made beats together for a few years, but he taught me so much about sample chops, you know. But at this time when I was making beats, you had to individually like chop each chop that you wanted. Where now you just put it on Serato and it just does it for you in like a second. So I'll be looking at that shit and I'm like, yo, I used to spend like an hour and a half, bro. Or like 35 minutes on
matching
one.
all the transitions.
Like if I had 2 pieces of a sample I wanted to use, you know, like it would take me, you know, 25, maybe 20 minutes, depending on how fast I was going, to just insert each chop, because I'm looking at the wave.
Yeah.
I'm just putting my chops where I want them and assigning them to my keys. And that would take about 20 at least 20 minutes, maybe more. And now it takes like literally less than a second. And,
do you think that takes away from the magic of it?
I think a little bit of it. I think there is something about having to sit there and like, you know what I mean, and really like look at this shit and really like take your time with it. But then it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, also, who the fuck wants to sit there and do that? And if there's a way to do it faster, man, I'll take that shit all day and fuck all that struggle shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give me the easier way. So it's like, I don't, you know what I mean? But I guess it's all perspective.
Yeah, because, bro, it's crazy when you think of, like, all Dilla had was, like, a fucking MPC, and he just...
And that's what I'm saying. And then those guys, they couldn't even visually see what they were just doing everything by ear. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no screen. They're not doing anything on computers. They're doing things on actual analog gear, which also has a different sound to it, a different texture, because it's analog. It's got a different feel.
You're going to get, like, a certain noise from the analog.
Yeah, you're going to get a certain warmth to your drums. That's why the drums hit a certain way, records sound a certain way, because you're running it through an actual machine, as opposed to digitally, you know, where it's very clean.
Yeah.
But this album I actually ran through tape, like an actual tape machine.
It sounds like it.
And some records I didn't, because some were too, like, some of the ones that a little bit more have like 808s, just more like you can't tape will squash it.
Yeah, you can't.
So
it's gonna
sound squash weird. It sounds really messy, as opposed to the ones that were like jam sessions that have like piano strings, horns, and I programmed the drums, but I programmed them in a way where it wouldn't sound messy. And I wanted to bring that feel back, because you might even notice it, but it's a feel. And the average listener they're not gonna know. Oh, this album was ran through tape. They're not gonna know. It's just a feel. And then sometimes you gotta just give it to them like that.
We were talking a little earlier about it. So Spanish was your first language, and English is your second. So the thing about languages is that like, for you to get better, you can't just be practicing like in a mirror.
No.
You gotta conversate.
Correct. Yeah.
Kind of the same way with producing.
Yep.
You gotta put your reps in. At what point did you feel comfortable enough, like when you were first making beats, to like be like, okay, let me dish these out?
Probably right away, man. I was like,
Really?
yeah, I didn't give a fuck, man. I thought I was the fucking best. I was like, even though not going back, this shit was terrible. But yeah, I found an old email one time and I sent out some rapper in Chicago. I was a little asshole, bro. I was just like, yeah, like, you know, I guess I can, you know, let you get this beat for free, but you know, I was like,
you're being sassy with it too.
Yeah, and because I was like, man, I thought I was the shit. And I'm like, man, I gotta think of that because nobody gonna think it for me. But it wasn't until I stepped out and met other producers. I'm like, oh shit, like, yo, these motherfuckers is nice. I gotta get my shit together, and that motivates me because I want to, you know, you want to be around people that are better than you in anything that you do in life. You don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? I want to be around people that are smarter than me because I want to learn and become better because of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that probably like around like 18, 19, I started gaining more confidence because that's when I would step out and network a lot, meet people, and meet a lot of people through just like I said, like before you really couldn't just DM somebody, you had to actually pull up on them. But there's something about, you know, like building relations with people because to me that's the real value. That's the real, like that's like the currency almost. Like money's not real. Like it's relationships, people. It's like motherfuckers, people will do things for you that money can't buy you. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody say, you know what, nah, I'm gonna vouch for them. Or I'm gonna bring you, only put you onto this. Yeah. You couldn't even pay for that. So that's why there's value in relationships 100% and with people.
I feel like what I do and what you do is similar in the sense that it's based on relationships. Yeah. Because to a certain degree, we are kind of a little dependent on relationships because it's like, you know, whoever I can get in the show, and for you, I get like coming up, it was like whoever you can like send out beats to and etc. Yeah. So like, I guess I feel like people lose that sense of building genuine relationships because it's really easy to do the corny shit to blow up, like just to get like your quick little in and out. But like, what's your advice to like producers who are like trying to play the long game?
Oh, long game shit, that's easy. I mean, not easy, but it's hard as fuck. I mean, the long game, bro, is you taking the stairs. And there's gonna be a lot of times you might feel underappreciated, overlooked. Yeah. But you gotta have very thick skin in this shit. Cause there's a lot of times that I would come to LA, like even like 2011 before I moved here, or even before that, and I would get fronted on. People would be like, yeah, hit me when you get here. And you pull up, nobody picks the phone up, you leave, hey man, where you at? Like, man, you know I left already, but you just you know, you playing stupid. But certain shit you just can't take it personal because like you gotta understand, bro, it's a janky ass business that we're in. Yeah. And a lot of times you don't know who's with you for real, like who's your real homies, who's just, you know, around, or who's just, you know, trying to see what they can, you know, how they can, you know, get somebody or try to, you know, because there might be some sort of thing in their, you know, to their, you know, that they want. Yeah. It's hard to not take it personal. Yeah. But you have to, you gotta stay down, bro. You gotta stay down. But I know it sounds really cliche, but it's like you really have to be delusional, and you have to believe that there's no other way and no other option, and that and you know, and that you're willing to do whatever it takes, but while not compromising your morals, right? And not doing no weird shit to get on, because that shit do happen, and that's, you know, to each his own. But it's like sometimes you do take longer because you don't want to do it. You know, there's just certain things you're not gonna do. Yeah. And a lot of times you gotta do things that you don't even like work with certain. You gotta do certain shit you don't want to do in the sense like, oh, you know, maybe there's some, like I used to sell a lot of beats online. Like, did I want to really do that? Yeah. Not really, because I'm trying to keep my stuff exclusive. But shit, I gotta pay these bills, or I gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? I think another thing too, bro, is like I'd be like, yo, I would go to New York and be with G Unit and be with 50 and do these sessions, and then go back to Chicago and then go work. I was working at a pizza place, and I was making pizzas, delivering pizzas. I was working at a Finish Line. I worked at a warehouse. Like, I had all these jobs even as I was making beats for these people and meeting them, and it kind of fucked me up because I was like, yo, why I'm supposed to be? How the fuck I'm doing all this and I'm supposed to be on? But it's like you can never be like too you can't be too cool for a job, man. Like, it's no shame in hard work, number one. And number two, it's never gonna be cool to be broke. So like, you might as well figure out a way to get some steady money so that you can fund your career or whatever you want to do, and you're not so dependent, so thirsty on certain things. Cause that shit'll turn people off too. If you just like, you feel me? Like, you gotta really make sure your shit is straight, so that way you can not be so dependent on this too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause then it can get tricky.
That's a quotable. It ain't cool to be broke.
No, it's never gonna be cool.
It's never
broke.
cool.
No.
But yeah, honestly, I don't think there's no shame in like having like your day job, whatever, because that way it's like you maintain all creative integrity.
Exactly.
Like,
and that's how I did it all the way up to this point, and it paid off. Because sometimes shit's just meant for you, bro. And like, I couldn't even tell you that I was gonna be independent and not ever sign a pub deal and be about all this independence and shit, ownership, because I didn't really know much about the music business. I knew certain things, but I didn't know a lot. It was until I met Ty, and then we started work, and he had this plan, and then he introduced us to Brent, and then we, cool. He had this. Even then, I still didn't really know what his vision was. But then once I saw what it was, I was like, oh, I was never meant to sit at that table anyways. I was meant to sit at this table.
Nice.
Where it's like, we own our masters, we own our publishing, we own our, we have equity now. And it's like, there's like a big misconception with like artists, or just with this whole shit. It's like, people think that they need to sign, they need to go to a major label, they need to pursue this. Like, that's how they're gonna get on. It's not true. Cause a lot of times, bro, these people ain't even that smart, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they're just getting a check too.
They're not smart, but they rely on you being financially ignorant.
Right. And so then if we don't have the financial literacy and we've never seen this kind of money, yeah, I understand shit, motherfucker. They offer you $100,000, $150,000.
Oh yeah, you're like,
yeah, man, I'm on. And bro, 23-year-old me would have definitely signed that deal.
Yeah.
And it would have been a fucked up deal, and I would have been mad as hell. So I get why some producers, they fighting over 3, 4, 5% because they're in fucked up deals. I'm not in that situation, but I'll try to share it. I will share the information for free because, like, yo, I don't want people to have to bump their heads and do some dumb shit to be like, damn, I shouldn't have did that shit. Like, I would say, dude, get a job. Fuck the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you about to get $50,000, bro. Get it, bro. Just go get a job, bro, for real. Because look at these terms. It's terrible. You know what I mean? Because the name of the game is leverage. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
But I feel like people take those deals. It's for the for the money, but also like, they want to have that feeling that like, oh, I'm doing this shit full time. You can't.
Yeah, no, and I get it. Yeah, that's true. But it's like, you live in a fantasy world, man. So it's like, because in what business do you get a loan, pay the loan off, and still don't own what you paid for?
Damn that. Yeah.
So it's like,
shit, that's actually the way you put it, that's crazy.
So if I let's say like getting a house or something, if I pay that loan off of the house, it's my house. But not in here. So it's like, that don't make sense to me. So it's very simple. And you gotta ask a lot of questions too. And people get mad when you ask questions. They be like, man, why the fuck this? And I've gotten into it with people at labels because I'm asking questions or my partner's asking questions. But it's like, you gotta watch out for those type of things too, because people shouldn't get mad at you for asking for more information. We just gotta cut the head off the boogeyman, bro.
Fuck the boogeyman.
Because this shit is not. Because all it does is exploit artists, and specifically black artists at that. So. And like, and you can talk all that shit, talk all that talk, but you gotta put your money where your mouth is, bro, for real. So even the way I do business, the way we do business is there. It's very transparent, and it offers an opportunity to build equity, so everyone has a piece of the pie, a fair piece. I mean,
I was reading before that you didn't do a publishing deal before because you just didn't get one.
I just didn't offer one, yeah, and then I got offered a bunch after Good Days. And then when they asked me what I wanted,
the door after Good Days.
Man, motherfuckers cap, bro. They told me, man, how much do you want? And to me, that's like, well, I'm the last person you should ask my value. Cause I'm gonna overprice it. I think I'm worth this. And it's like, man, all right. I said, man, I got something else coming though. So I'm just letting y'all know right now, you're getting it for cheap. Boom. But I didn't know I was just talking shit because it's all game, bro. It's all just because motherfuckers, bro, it's not real. You see people get these crazy deals. How? I'm just, hey, I'm gonna ask what I want because I don't think it's. I mean, it's to me, I don't want to sit at that table. So for me, it's like trolling. So I'd be like, yeah, I want.
It's like juggling.
I want 3 million.
And
you're like, what? It's like 3 million. Like, yeah, we can't. All right, well, shit. Well, holler me when you can.
Yeah.
I got something else coming, so you might as well come get it now. And then it's like, all right, cool. I was talking shit, right? But man, look what happened. Look how God works, or however this thing works. Like 8 months later, hurricane drops, and I was like, oh shit, coming back around. Oh man.
Spin the block.
Spin the block. Well, shit. Now I want more. I'm throw another one on top. And like, man, come on. I said, all right, man, like, all right, we're gonna see what we could do,
Yeah.
And then nothing ever happens. But to me, it's like, how could you be a publishing company and you trying to get somebody to come fuck with you, but you're not even trying to make sure the effort of what you could do for them? It's like going on a date or something. Like you court somebody, you take them out, you grab some dinner, you show,
you gotta swoon them a little.
You showing hey, look at me, I'm like, come fuck with me. And it's like, you just want to, you trying to get straight to fucking. You trying to get straight to, so like, all right, well, there's a price for that. You don't want to come.
Cheap.
I'm not cheap, motherfucker. Everybody got, all right, you want to just straight sign me? Cool, just here. I mean, in a sense, like, at least put me in the studio. If I say, who you want to work with? I want to work with A, B, and C. They can't even do that. They can't even do it. So it's like, y'all gonna put me in with who? I'm good. No offense.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you know what I mean? I could DM them if I want to.
Yeah. It's like, you're not adding any value to me.
And not on no pretentious shit. It's just a taste thing for me.
Yeah.
And so what's the point?
Yeah.
And then if you can't get somebody, you can't lure anybody in with money because they don't need the money. Now you're really in a situation where you really gotta show me something. So I don't, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm good. And that's cool. I love where at that table I'm at.
Yeah.
I think it's the coolest, the best table that
it's the hardest table to get to, but once you sit on it, it sounds
where
fulfilling.
I'm at, because I do my publishing with with Cowboys and Pirates, which is Ty's company, and to me that's home, and I have all the creative freedom. I could do anything I want, so it's like that's the creative. That's what you want to hear. Like, yo, do whatever you want. You want to drop an album tomorrow? Well, maybe not tomorrow, but you want to be smart about certain things.
Exactly.
But the concept, right, the idea of like saying, cool, bro, go ahead. So
let me rewind back a bit.
Yeah.
We were talking initially that you have to take the stairs and you're hearing a lot of no's and etc. Because like when I was going online, I saw you were outside. Like I saw like beat battles. I saw the radio station with Jim Jones. So I wanted to ask about like, because bro, honestly, I've heard the New York story so many times. You went to New York, got ghosted.
I got ghosted, bro, but that was the biggest blessing that could have happened to me. Because then I ended up working with 50 Cent. But that's just like, I feel like sometimes it's just like, I don't know, what the stars align is destiny, or it's just like the universe. Like, all right, man, here, man, fuck, here's a bone, bro. You over here doing all this shit.
For too long,
kid. Here you go, man. Here's, take this. But it's like, yeah, bro, shit, that's how it happened. Like, and then once I peeped that I was good enough for that level of an artist, it was over. I was like, all right, cool, I know where I'm at now. I know now. I kind of gauge where I'm at with this shit.
So the story was you sent a beat.
I was calling the state. I was calling shit. This DJ's show on Shade 45. I called. He had Jim Jones on there. I don't know why I called. I was just cleaning my room and shit. I was in high school, and I'm like, yo, like, how can I send you beats? Because he had an artist that he was managing that I liked. And send him to this email. I sent the beats to the email. Hit me back. Yo, that's crazy. It was like, we want to work with you. So me, instead of being like, well, shit, let me come out to New York to work with you guys, I was like, I just lied. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be out there on this day. Oh, for real? Man, link up. There's less pressure. You feel me? Like, oh, I'm already gonna be there. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna just say that. And then I get there, and then no one picks up the phone. I pull up on them, and they're like, oh shit. I pull up on them because to me, I'm like, yo, this is all my money, bro.
Yeah.
This is all my, bro. I'm 18. This is it. It's all I got. I was working at a grocery store in that Finish Line. So that trip alone right there, that was all my bread. And I couldn't believe it, bro. I could not believe that I got stood up. But it was a quick lesson because like nobody owes you shit. And it's like
that's why I had to learn the hard way.
So I was like, bro, I have no type of like, what do I have to offer besides, you send me some cool beats. Yeah. Like, that's it.
And the thing is, it gasses up in your head in a certain way because you think, oh, I'm the fucking best, my beats are fire. Mm-hmm. But then you realize, like, okay, yeah, like to these people, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you have some leverage and, you did this, and this, and you did that, regular people look at, then it's different. Oh, shit, they're not going to treat you like that. But, I mean, bro, people got a lot of shit going on, personal lives, career wise, whatever. So nobody owes you anything. So once you realize that, you put it in your brain, everything just becomes a lot more like easier. It just becomes, it just becomes more like you understand it better, you know.
So when you were in New York, the story goes that you went, oh, I'm gonna be out there, pull up on them,
get dubbed, whatever, it's all good. Next day, I'm on my phone, I'm on my computer, I'm watching a video about G Unit, like they're interviewing the staff. Boom. Yeah. I go over there, knock on the door. The intern, for whatever reason, bro, just takes a liking to me. He's like, "Hey, man, let me see if I can get this guy to come listen to your beats," which is the A&R, another angel in my life, Dre McKenzie. And he opened the door and he let me play his music, and I had a beat CD. This was 2009, and 2 weeks later he calls me. He said, "Hey, man, 50 picked these 3 beats off your CD." I'm like, "Really?" Yeah, keep sending me more stuff, man. Keep sending me more stuff. So that became my sole purpose. Like, boom, I got some momentum. I got some motion going now. Yeah. So I would just send them beats every week. Me and QB every week send them beats. And I started planning trips to New York. But now I can plan them with like some. Now I have, hey, come to the office, whatever. Like even come meet 50 and hang out with him, whatever. And that's how it started. And then from there, they plugged me into more people. So I started meeting, a bunch of people in New York, and then that's how I started building my network. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. It's a crazy story, but it's just like a testament to like, if you want all these, we say we want all these things, but you have to meet it halfway. Right? You gotta put some work in. Man. You can't just sit around like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do that, and just sit at home and just be like, yeah, I want this. You gotta put some action on this. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I realized, like, cause I'm looking at all the greats that like I look up to, like in music and in my space. And one thing you realize is that, bro, all these people went through shit and had all their like difficulties, but it's about like what makes them great and gets that statue is that how you become resilient and persist.
Yeah, bro.
Cause that trip could have been a massive L.
I could have left the next day. Yeah. It was an option too.
Yeah.
I mean, just go home. But I was like, man, fuck that. I'm in New York. Let me at least walk around.
Yeah.
And then that light bulb turned on, whatever that is, whatever you believe in or you don't believe in. But I'll be like, man, some helped me out. Somebody looked out for me. It changed my life forever, bro. And I just started moving like that. I mean, I've always been quick on my feet, so I just feel like that. It's just, So, but it's like, and even moving to LA in 2014, I moved here because one of my friends that I met on MySpace in 2010 or whatever, we would talk every day, offered his couch because he had this artist that he was about to fly, and her name was BB Borelli. He's like, yo, dude, you and BB would make some, like, y'all be so fire. He's a producer too. So Paperboy Fabe, he's like, yo, come crash on my couch. I'm like, all right, bet. So I thought about it, and I was like, all right, cool. So I did it, right? I quit my job, get the voicemail. I leave 2 days later. I crashed on the couch, and even that, bro, that was a whole journey in itself. Cause LA is a motherfucker, and like when you get out here, you realize that everybody here is just as hungry as you are. Yeah. And they're more talented than you are. And you're like, oh shit, you're like, these motherfuckers is nice. I'm in the studio like, yo, this motherfucker nice. And he sleep in the studio too. So I'm like, fuck. So I gotta get better, and which I did. Yeah. And I evolved my sound. That's how I transitioned to R&B. Cause I was doing straight just like some 50 Cent. Yeah, just like street rapper dusty shit. Ass breaks. But then I kind of transitioned into like when I started working with Chance and Saba and like Mick Jenkins, all those people. It became a little more like I want to see a little more jazz, not jazz, just a little more softer, a little jazzier, a little more, it was a part of the evolution and and the growth. And then when I got to LA is when I really got really understood like just music as a whole, from songwriting to being a better producer, trying new ways of working, collaborating. So that's what really changed it for me. You know what I'm saying? Coming out here. Yeah. And just doing like, bro, being in the studio, like, bro, like sleeping in the studio, sleeping in the car, sleeping on the couch. Going. And I met Ty. At Fabe's house. Like we would both be there sometimes and just thugging it out. So so everything's very organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, because it's like you had an interesting trajectory where like you went to New York, your first placement is a big placement. You come back to Chicago and it's like, okay, now I'm starting from here. How do I work backwards?
I had to work backwards. Now all of a sudden I had rappers in Chicago want to work with me because they like, oh, that's the kid that worked with 50.
Yeah.
So like, dude, we need to work with him. So then it's almost like I went backwards. I got a big one, and then now I went back and started working from the,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How was like filtering out like, okay, this can actually work, or you're just hitting me up because I worked with 50?
Yeah. I mean, bro, I was like, man, let's get this shit going. I mean, as long as I liked the music, I was cool with it. You know, with certain things I didn't, you know, I was cool. I was like whatever with. But if I liked it, bro, I gave out so many beats for free during those like, whatever, how many years was it? 4 years? Maybe?
Yeah.
Like, I gave out beats for free all the time because I was just like, man, I'm building with the relationship with these artists, these people, certain people, and I was in the studio with the most gangster motherfucker, bro, the most like, you know what I mean? People that like that other people that were older than me were like, yo, you're not afraid to go to the studio. You know, I'm like, nah, why would I be? I mean, you know, I'm not green. I know, you know, if I'm pulling up to that studio in this certain neighborhood, I'm calling a minute, 2 minutes before I get there. Hey, I'm coming, like, come get me type.
Oh,
shit.
Was it like?
Yeah, those days were the LEP days, so I was over there on 72nd and Halstead, Inglewood. So like, you know, and it's like I'm the only Mexican in a 5 mile radius, probably, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, motherfucker gonna look at you like you the police or you the plug. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one are you? I'm a producer. Like, all right, fuck all that.
None of the above.
I'm calling 2 minutes before I pull up. Hey, I'm about to be there. Come get me. I'm not hanging out in the front. I'm getting in and getting out. You know what I'm saying? But I learned a lot in those days. I paid a lot of dues, bro. And it's like, again, this is what this shit takes, man.
Yeah.
This shit is hard, bro. It's like 1%. It's like making the NBA if you make music for a living, and then you get
That's a
accolades,
luxury.
and you start doing, and then you can do it like who you want to work with. But that's just hard, bro.
Yeah.
But it's like that's why it's like, yo, everybody got eyes on your own paper, man.
Yeah.
Just focus on your path and your journey, because you don't know what the next person had to go through, or you don't know what the next person's advantage is.
Yeah.
Somebody could be like, yo, their uncle works at the CEO of Universal.
You never know, bro.
And you're like, yeah, of course
That's
you got
why
that
you
look.
always got to put your best foot forward.
Yeah, but of course that person got that because they, you know, it could have been nepotism, for example.
Yeah.
Or that
There's
person,
a lot of that shit in
or
this.
that person got it because, bro, they used to sleep in their car for 3 years. They were homeless, and now they finally, like, that person deserves a break too.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't compare. You just got to be like, yo, what's my journey, and focus on your shit, and that's it. It's all it is, bro.
A lot of the times it's like 50, and then it goes to like, oh, I work SZA, Kanye, etc. But like, I want to know about like the in between, like building those relationships. So like, was moving out to LA kind of where like all those like one led to another, like all those relationships cultivated?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of my friends, man, that I'm friends with today, I met out here, building with them. I think a big rule is to hustle and build amongst your peers, your friends.
Yeah.
Because everybody, at some point, y'all gonna keep building. And now, next, 5, 6, 7 years later, this guy's running this.
Yeah.
And that person's running that. And hey, man, I got you. Come here. That's how they do it. That's how it works. You don't you don't reach for like, I mean, you could, but it's like, they already got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just everybody amongst themselves. And you gonna see. And that's how it always works that way. Because everyone eventually helps each other out as everyone's climbing. You know what I'm saying? But together. Yeah. But I did definitely, moving here, definitely, yeah. I cultivated, started a lot of relationships here. A lot of people that I collaborate with here, I met here in LA.
Do you feel like moving out to LA opened also like your sound palette? Because you mentioned earlier that like now that you're reaching for more like soulful like samples, like digging in for different sounds. Does that also open like the array of artists that you can work with just by like you opening up your ear?
Yeah, everybody comes here to work, to record. So you have, I mean, it's like you have the best of the best, the musicians too. People that I work with, from all, I mean, any instrument. It's just like, bro, it is what it is. This is where people create music. I mean, people create music wherever, but I feel like some of the best stuff is here, and it definitely opened up my my mind more, because I started working with songwriters. So I started like
thinking about structure
of songs, and not just making beats or working with rappers, actual songs. But then it's like, I felt like I was spoiled. I worked with this girl BB, who's like an incredible, one of the best writers that I've worked with. She ended up writing for like Rihanna, all these people, but but even her own artistry, one of the best. So like it was easy to work with her because she's just dope.
Yeah.
So like when someone's that talented, it's easy. Yeah, I don't gotta do much. Just don't fuck up.
Yeah.
And they got you. You know what I'm saying? And then again, you know, when Ty found Brent, I was like, cool. I was down to do, you know, I was down to do it because I just love doing music. And then, but I didn't know the bigger picture until later on, once I started seeing what it really was. You know what I mean? It was best thing I'd ever did was come here.
I hear it like the sound change, but there's also like some similar like original techniques. Like you're talking about starting off with soul chopping samples, but even like the music that you have now that's like I think it's like what originally composed. It still sounds like it was chopped.
Some of the stuff I did, some of those jam sessions I chopped up, like I made my own samples and chopped them up. But also I think that me digging for soul records and listening to soul music because I didn't hear it growing up. My parents weren't listening to soul; they were listening to Mexican music.
Yeah.
But me searching for it and finding it, I created this palette, this taste for like. I was digging for like my favorite producers of those eras. You know, that produce, stuff. Barry White producer, Patrick Adams producer, Quincy Jones producer, whatever it is that they produce. I was just going to gravitate towards certain records, you know, and that's some of the best music. Soul music never dies. It's still popular. It's still for a reason. It's like it's just classic. It's timeless, and I feel like that really cultivated my taste. So knowing how to like, even like when I do jam sessions, like how to pick out who I'm working with.
Yeah.
Because you got some dudes that play like producers, and you got some people that play like musicians. And that's two different things.
In what way?
Because the musicians that don't have the producer ear gonna try to shred and show out. Like, you know, they gonna stay playing the bass. You know, but I can't. Like a writer's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Then you got some dudes that they can do that, but they're gonna give you some just basic, some minimum, right, or something in pocket.
Yeah.
That you're like, all right, cool. We can do something with this, right? So it's there's a big difference with that. You know? But yeah.
When the musicians are going at it, they're trying to like kind of flex, but the producer knows like which pocket to fill in.
Yeah,
so is it kind of like less is more?
Less is more, yeah. There's guys that play like producers. They can play it both.
Yeah.
They can do both. They know, all right, in this instance, we're going to play like a producer. Because you got dudes that are classically trained, bro. You got people that are classically trained in whatever instrument they're in, and they're literally, sometimes they just play something very simple, like 4 chords. And like, that's all you want?
Bro,
it's like, and it's like...
Think of Runaway.
Yeah. Or think of, you ever heard Broccoli? Right, remember Broccoli?
Yeah.
Roger did that, right? Roger, one of the homies, did that. That dude's classically trained, bro. That dude could play, like, he'll play fucking Mozart and shit.
Yeah.
But that shit, you go back and listen to Broccoli.
Do you play instruments yourself or no?
A little bit of keys and little drums.
Yeah?
Yeah, just enough to get my ideas out. Yeah. But
how does that look like? Because, bro, if you ask me, I think producers are the best creative directors because, like, we really... Yeah, because producers really know how to, like, build a world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, when you're building your own world, like, how does that sound like in terms of, like, okay, like, maybe you don't have that same music theory to translate that to musicians, but how does that, like, process look like when you're trying to pick out people to, like, fit into your world?
But it's a process because like even some of my friends like they'll tell you like I've had jam sessions where I've had to like rotate like not in the same day but like throughout like let's say 2-3 months where I'm like trying to figure out who to bring, who works well with other people because there could be a guitar, you can have your homie playing guitar and dude playing bass and they sound good but there's no synergy there. Then you got maybe these other two dudes that play together and it's like oh shit, some shit's happening right now. And that's what you're trying to lock in.
So you're it's kind of like catching lightning in a bottle.
But yeah, but it's like you're curating it. You're trying to figure out who works well with who, and who how can the whole room work.
Yeah.
Because there's some dudes that are just mad talented, like, or maybe just doesn't fit in this like you know. The thing of like a starting 5, right? Maybe that person doesn't fit in this lineup, but it fit in that lineup. But,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And depending on what you're trying to create, then you gotta make sure you assign that lineup. It's like literally like I'm even thinking about that shit on the fly right now. Yeah, it's like literally like what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get a defensive stop? All right, cool. I'm finna put in goddamn Bruce Bowen and motherfucker. I mean, I'm talking basketball terms, right? You gonna put in Bruce Bowen and Michael Cooper and Dennis Rodman because you trying to get you know what I'm saying? Because you trying to play defense. You know, you're not trying to score. You trying to play defense. Oh, you trying to score? I got Kevin Durant, motherfucker, Michael Jordan. I got you know what I'm saying? Steph Curry. It's like. You have to design it to what you're trying to make.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And And I think I figured that out so far right now. But I'm still learning, you know?
Yeah. Do you also look for opposites to create like experiments?
All the time. All the time. This whole album is a couple of people. You're like, why did you put that person? Or they're like, I want to see what this is going to sound like.
Yeah.
Because, bro, a lot of these guys, bro, like, I don't judge a motherfucking fish by his ability, like, to fly, bro.
Yeah.
Like, some of these dudes just don't got it. They just don't got the ear. They don't got the taste.
Yeah.
So they're going to just do what they think is like, oh, yeah, this is it. Because they don't got the sauce, bro. They don't got the taste. They don't have that. But then you got some people that like a K-Tronada, he gets it.
Oh yeah, bro.
He'll get you Craig David. You wouldn't even think about Craig David. He put him on the album. You're like, man, shit. And he set him up to win. So when I went and got Paul Wall on my album, I was like, man, I love Paul Wall. That's so fucking crazy to me. So I'm like, man, you know, and then I envisioned it in my head, and I was like, man, I really want Paul Wall on this beat because I just heard him on this beat, and it was and to, you know, in high school that's how I was listening. You know, so it's just. And it worked. Were other people thinking about putting Paul Wall on songs? I don't know. Well, am I gonna put Paul Wall on a drill beat? No. I'm gonna put Paul Wall on some shit that he gonna shine and we both gonna look good.
Yeah, but also like no one has to connect to put Paul Wall on a song. Period.
So I just made a call, man. I just made one call. I asked one person, and of course, just how life is. I didn't even know I was in the studio with his engineer one day, and I didn't even know he did it. And my boy's like, yeah, that's his engineer. I'm like, I have his number already. Oh, boom, that was it. Like,
that's how it happened?
Yeah. It was the day the pandemic started. I was in the studio with Bruce Bang. And we had a session with this guy named Ashton Travis.
Yeah.
And we were in the studio with him. And me and Bruce was, like I said, I didn't know much about Bruce. He's just a cool engineer. And also a lot of times I see like, this is like people are just like, some people are just shitty, bro. And they be talking to engineers and runners and interns crazy. And I feel like that shit lame as hell. And it says more about the person that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I even to where people walk in the studio and don't even shake their hands of like, oh, there's a woman in there.
Shit, bro.
You know, a woman will be in there, and they won't even shake their hand because they assume something. But like, bro, who raised you, man? You go walk in the room, you say hi to everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but there have been times I shake a hand of a girl, and she's like, oh, hey, like she's like thrown off because like motherfuckers walk in and don't give a fuck. Like, what's up? And so I'm in the studio just kicking it with Bruce. We chopping it up, and then I don't hear from him, see him for years until this Paul Wall thing happened. And I was like, yo, like, oh shit, bro. You know, he's like, man, I got you, bro. And that was it. Literally called him, and Paul was like, man, I'm doing it. He's like, Bruce said to do it, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, that's what's up. But then I had to like start off with BJ first to create like the world first, the hook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that was that's how we started that song. BJ started the song.
I have to know.
Yeah.
So, Good Days and Hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Those beats, they were made like years before, no?
At the same time too, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What was like your mind state like making those beats?
Yeah. Good Days, I went home for a little bit for like 2 weeks. It was like 2017, I think, or 2018. And I was at home, and Los, one of my really good friends and people I work with, Los Hendricks, he texted me this voice note of his guitars.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, what do you think of this shit? I'm like, bro, it was incredible. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I just started, because he was like, oh, I'm in a session right now with these, and no one's really biting. No one's like.
Yeah.
So he was like, is this dope? And I'm like, bro, this is incredible. I put drums and everything to this loop. Like, I just take the loop sequence, put it on, and I just started putting drums, started putting little birds in the background, little signature shit I started doing. I made the beat right there. I sent it back to him. He's like, oh, this shit hard. He's like, when I get home, I'm gonna finish it. So he finished it up, added bass to it, added his thing. I found Orion's Son, right? Discovered Orion's Son that same year. I hit her up, and I'm like, yo, I got this beat for you. I was like, I want to sing some music. I just want to sing some music. So, like, let's do it, let's work. The first beat I sent her was a Good Days beat. And she made a song to it. And then literally a week later, my boy Carter calls me and says, hey, man, SZA recorded to that beat. Like, we're gonna hold on to it. I was like, fuck. And these things are a gamble because there's nothing for sure until it comes out. So I had to constantly gamble, like, damn, do I bet on this song coming out, or do I say, nah, Orion, here, you take it?
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna risk the shit. I'm gonna bet on it. You know what I mean? So I told Orion, hey, like, SZA wrote, She's like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, she's
At
like,
least
damn.
she was cool with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was super cool about it. But I felt bad 'cause I'm like, damn. But also I was like, hey, look, you see, I was singing you that shit. I want to sing you no bullshit. I was singing you some shit. so then it eventually came out. I think 2020 came out 2 years later, right? Something like that. I think it came out. She dropped it as a teaser.
Yeah.
Hurricane, I was working with Chance, and we were doing Kanye and Chance were doing an album together called Good Ass Job.
Yeah, Good Ass Job.
And I think on the second week, Kanye took over and said, I'm making an album, and I'm going to call it Yandi. So then it became that. And we were just making hella shit. And Hurricane didn't sound the way it came out.
I heard
that's not what I do. Like, that doesn't.
With all the synth layers and shit.
Yeah, that's not my style.
It was the original...
80 Degrees.
Yeah, it was
So
like the
that
vocal
was
sample.
the vocal sample. It was an actual DJ Khalil sample that we had chopped, and that was the original Hurricane. But this new one that came out, the final one, I guess it fit more of like of the world, having the weekend on it and stuff like that. So, but it's still derivative of the original. So like, you know, that's one thing I will say about like with Kanye. Like, I got credit, I got paid, I got publishing. There was no easy. You know what I'm saying? And that's because, you know, he's a producer himself too, so he knows how hard it is. You feel what I'm saying? Two different worlds, but if you hear the original Hurricane, it's something that I would do. You know what I mean?
I go back on YouTube to to listen to the original Hurricane, because that's also once I listen to once I realize you're the person behind all my favorite beats, I listen to it. I'm like, yeah, there's constant themes that you play with. It's like vocal samples tucked in the back. But also it has like this...
Nostalgic?
Yeah, it's like nostalgic but not dated.
Not dated, yeah. And that's my signature, bro. It's just nostalgic but not old. And I think that was the trickiest part to find.
How was finding the drums for, what's it called, for Hurricane?
Man, that was, those drums, that was, I think it was Bugs and Ronnie J.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that was the original. That was the original, yeah, it was those, Ronnie J and Bugs. Yeah, because with Kanye, man, you can give him anything. You can chop up a loop and give it to him. He'll rap on it. If he likes it, he'll use it.
Yeah.
But then from there, it grows into, you know, a full beat or whatever. And there's a lot of people in those. Well, that's something that I learned being there. It's like almost like an assembly line.
Yeah.
You got mad people working on mad shit. And it's like, yo, just, you know what I mean? Just run it. And then that's not a way that I was used to working. But, I mean, I was there. I was really there. And I was able to contribute because of Bugs, who's like Kanye's, you know, right hand and, you know, a really good friend. So I'm very thankful for him because he once he found that I was down, because once he knew that I was in the studio, because the studio had 2 levels. Yeah. He said, oh shit, Nascent's down. I said, yo, come up, you know, come up and like just give me shit for Kanye, and that was one of the things I gave him. So yeah, but I was able to see a new way of working, a new process. But that works for them, you know.
Yeah. But you like being like more intimate.
Yeah, I like doing that.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah.
Because it's interesting. Like, I don't know if you thought about like this, that you could have made like Good Days and Hurricane, those 2 beats, with a completely different feeling with what you're feeling, and then setting those out and seeing how they put it into their own world. Does that like recontextualizes the beat for you?
A little bit,
like the way you feel about that beat now, because it's like a timestamp. Like, damn, like I was thinking this, but then she interpreted it as that.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Yeah, it's just cool to see what people come up with, because it's like you know, they're creatives and you know they're creatives as well. So it's cool to see what people come up with and how it speaks to them. You know? Because it's gonna speak differently.
Of course, like people are gonna know like the big hits, but also it's like you have like an A&R ear to hear like, oh shit, like for instance, to pick up a Jordan Ward and put him on an album in 2021 before like he had his huge blow up, that takes an ear. So like one thing I wanted to ask is that like, yeah, okay, like, you know, the Grammys, everything, of course, that's like cool. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. But what feels a little more fulfilling, being able to like reach that high and get those awards, or be able to like grow with an artist and be like, damn, like
that part, that one, all day. We all, it's nice to get recognized, and we all want to get recognized for our work. Yeah. And some people are gonna front, but I don't care about the Grammys.
Yeah,
whatever.
bro, no.
And it's like, yeah, bro, that may not be the motivation to why you make music, but if somebody wants to recognize you for it, why would you oppose that? You know what I'm saying? Like, So it's like, yeah, I don't do music for that, but if they want to recognize me,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah, why not?
of course of course I want to be recognized. It's more fulfilling to me to do that way, to find a new artist. What is it that makes me feel like something can be something? I don't know. It's like a gut feeling,
Yeah.
and also
It's like an instinct.
and it's also like, can I see past what it is? You know what I mean? If I see someone like an artist and like Jordan, I can see, oh man, I can see like your career in 3-4 years from now. What is it gonna be? And I get excited. Then usually I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I heard Jordan in 2020. I think I heard him on Insecure. Like I didn't even find him like in a like on a SoundCloud page, and he was like, you know, bro, I heard him on Insecure, and he had a song on there, and I was like, oh, this shit's fire, and I just Shazammed it, and then I just DM'd him. I'm like, yo, you're fire. We should work. And he's like, oh, and he probably saw my Instagram. I was like, oh shit, this guy works with this. All right, cool, let's do it. And that was it. And then we just linked up, and then our first song ever was the one on my album.
That was the first song.
The first song we ever did, yeah. The first song we ever did together.
How does that look like? Like when you're in the studio with an artist, like, because it's a lot more intimate. Is it more so that like, are you bringing them into your world, or do you kind of just set the stage for them to do what they do?
It's a little bit of both. I try to be real flexible in the studio. I also don't do too much on the production in the beginning, because you want to give an artist as much room as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, he knew like when he came in, like we were doing something, we were gonna do something. But it's like, yeah, it's my world. That's what you coming to me, because you want to take a dive in there and see, and into that world and that sound, and then from there we build it up. You know what I mean? But always open minded and flexible.
Yeah.
Because an artist is gonna always remember that experience, and if you're a difficult person to work with, or you're a weirdo, or whatever, as talented as you can be, they're not gonna come back, and they're gonna always come back to the people that made them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it was easy, because it's already tough. You know, some artists deal with a lot of their own issues within themselves. Like maybe they don't feel confident enough, or they having a bad day, or they just feel like whatever it is, and you want to kind of be like their, almost like a therapist.
Yeah,
and
real.
Just, you know, sometimes you'll sit with an artist, bro, and talk for 2-3 hours before you even make music.
But that's important.
But it's important because you're trying to capture that magic, and everybody got to be. And it's vulnerable too. Yeah. So it's weird to make music with somebody for the first time, because it's very vulnerable. So you want to make it as comfortable as you can to get the best out of them, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. When working with all these different artists, it's like, yeah, of course, they want a piece of your world because like, they like what you heard.
And you want a piece of their world too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add. Does it like add into your world?
Yeah, as a compliment. It was as a compliment, and that's why I'm intentional with who I work with.
Yeah.
And sometimes I might have missed the mark, but you'll never hear the song. Like, it might be like, and it just doesn't come out. And that happens too. Like, I'm not going to be like, yo, everything I do is nah. Sometimes you do shit, you're like, I mean, even on this album, I did something with Papa Rod that was dope. But man, I ain't gonna lie, I flipped the whole idea. Like, and then like 2 weeks later, I was like, nah.
Really?
Just kept the song, like the vocals, changed the beat completely, and that was the one. But it was just, and it happened just naturally. I was working with John Key. We made an idea, and I was on some hot shit. I was like, yo, man, maybe this shit will work cool with this. And I tried it. I got some DJ shit. Yeah. Like a mashup. And it fucking sounded fire, bro. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. Because you know with music, bro, like you don't got to think about it, man. It's like when you eat a good meal. It's like when you go to a fire restaurant. Yeah. You're not sitting there thinking like, oh, is this good? You know that shit good. You like, this shit fire. So with music,
I come here for this.
You eating it, right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing with music, bro. It has to be, like, you don't got to think about it. If I got to think about it, then it got to be like, you hear, like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. That's the feeling I'm chasing every time.
But do you feel like, is it more like quantity over quality? Like, are you the guy, like, are you the type that sits down 5 beats a day? Yeah. Or is it just like, let me try something new with every beat?
I made a beat like in 2-3 weeks, bro, but right now, because I'm doing all this
album
stuff.
Busy.
But like, sometimes, yeah, sometimes I do make 3 beats a day, and sometimes I don't. Just gotta live life. It's quality over quantity all the time.
Because I feel like producers nowadays, it's more so that like, if they feel like they're not in their bedroom or in the studio, cranking out beats every single day, they feel like they're falling behind.
In the beginning, yeah, you should. In the beginning, you need to put that work in.
Because it's going to sound like trash. And you need to get past that phase.
And also, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. It's the days that you think it matters. Like the days, is like you got to sort the small stuff. It's the times when you don't think that, I'm just making, sometimes you'll go to a session, you're like, whatever.
Yeah. And that's the day.
That'd be the session that changed your life. Because you'll make a beat that day that you gonna play for somebody in a month that's gonna change your life. And it just be like that.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah, you don't get to. It's not these grand moments where like, oh, it's like the stage is set and you're gonna make this beat. It's gonna don't work like that.
Yeah.
It's that Tuesday you win. Like, fuck, I didn't want to come to the studio, but fuck, I'm gonna go make some shit. And then 3 months later, you send it to someone and SZA gets on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, I'm so glad I went that day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta show up every day.
How's you mentioned earlier, how did you and Brent link up?
Through
That
Ty.
was an interesting story.
Through Ty, yeah, through Ty. They had already planned a trip to DR
Yeah.
to do their first album, Saunderson, and I wasn't a part of that like list of producers. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was not because like I was just doing a lot of work with BB at the time. So I'm like, shit, man, I'm trying to go to DR too. Fuck it. I had a camera, I was hustling, man, just trying to make bread. So I was like, yo, I asked Ty, yo, who's doing all the BTS work? I said, man, he's like, nobody. I'm like, man, I got this camera. He's like, man, fuck it. He's like, I'm gonna get you this, you book your flight, right? And you don't worry, we'll have some for you to somewhere for you to stay. I'm like, fuck it. So I paid what, $300 for that flight, and that was the best $300 I invested in my life, bro. Straight up, like that. Because then when I'm in DR, I'm getting BTS,
Yeah.
but I'm also like, you know, I'm finna get my beats off.
Yeah.
Like,
How does that
I'm just
look
because I'm
like?
very competitive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm very, very competitive, but I also understand that it's music, but because you know you gotta want to be the best.
Yeah.
So the power goes out one day. There's a thunderstorm. Power goes out. So Jeff, the engineer, is plugging everything back in. He's like, yo, Nascent, play something from your computer. I'm like, all right, cool. So I play this beat I made in Atlanta, right? And this is what goes back to what I was just saying about how you got to show up, right? I made this beat in Atlanta at my friend's studio while he was running errands. I was like just making beats.
Yeah.
I'm always making beats. I play this beat, and Brent comes out the room. He's like, yo. He's like, man, I never thought of playing him this shit, bro. He's like, yo, mute the sample, give me the drums and the bass, that's it. I'm like, for real? I was like, yeah. And he made Gang Over Love. You know what I mean? Bro, I ain't gonna tell you how much money that song generated, right? But if I was in my head or in my ego, like, oh, I gotta book my flight, but everyone else got their flight booked.
That would never
Bro,
happen.
fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck. $300, bro. You spend that shit on nothing. I'll buy that shit 10 times, bro. For the amount of money that song made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In hindsight. Also, sometimes shit's just meant for you, bro. Sometimes things just line up for you, man. Just this, you know what I'm saying?
Even though it takes a while to line up.
Right, but it lines up for you. But had I not made that beat in Atlanta and been on not being focused on what I'm supposed to do,
Yeah.
then that would never happen. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So then you go back and like, damn, I'm so happy I went to the studio that day.
Yeah.
And wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna just stay home and play PS5 because I'm not doing shit. I'm just whatever. It's like, nah, I just shut up, made a couple beats that day. And that was the first. And then once that happened, I was like, yeah, I put the camera down and I got 4 on that album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Because why not, bro? Because like, yeah, maybe I just gotta be more creative on how I get on shit. And it's cool. There's many ways to get into where you want to get. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going through the front door, man. I'm going through the back.
I'm going by any means.
Motherfucking crawl space, goddamn, whatever the fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's it.
You went on that DR trip kind of playing in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Producers, unfortunately, especially you, are responsible for setting the stage of people's favorite moments. But I wanted to ask that, like, you playing the back, did that make you want to put your foot forward as, like, more producer artist making, like, your own albums? Like, is that where it came from? Or when did you decide, like, I actually want to start, like, curating my own album?
I just realized that I had so many relationships with artists, and that I would always find artists early.
Yeah.
And I'm not chasing the placement game. So I'm like, why not just make my own shit? Like, I think it's tight, and I think I find artists that are dope, and I think I'll have I'm gonna get more out of it, and I'll be able to talk more shit where it's like it's my shit, and it's just a more enjoyable experience for me because I get to really be a producer, whereas in the placement game, if you're not in that studio with that artist and you're like working with them, you just send the beat and playing the louder.
And that's it.
And that's it. And that's cool. That works for some people. But for me, that ain't really my. I like having control of my what I'm doing and my destiny or whatever it is that I need to be in control of. I need to make sure that I'm working towards, towards it and like working, So Yeah, it was kind of already set up for me to do this. I think, you know.
Yeah, and it's actually cool seeing like your ear for being an A&R, because it's like you can pick someone like I said earlier, Jordan Ward, seeing him grow and then y'all grow together. So now it's like, instead of chasing the big placements, it's like, all right, bro, let's do this fucking 5 times again.
Mm-hmm. We could do it, and I'll go on his album, do shit for him, and maybe he'll do it again for me in the next one. But if we have good chemistry, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, man, if you're dope, you want to have good chemistry with a lot of people.
Yeah, because
You know what I'm saying? Like
you've had an ear for Jordan Ward, Saba, who's like my favorite rapper. Orion. You had some shit on the Noname.
Noname, Lil Herb. I was with Lil Herb when he was Lil Herb. G Herb was Lil Herb.
Damn.
I reached out to him on Twitter like 2012, probably 2011. Who else? Obviously Brent. It's a few people, bro. But you know, there's a girl named Sailor. She went by Sailor Goon.
Yeah.
But she's Sailor now. She's on my album. She's dope. Papa Rod is really dope.
Yeah.
On my album. Trying to think who else. Oh, there's Riz Capolati. Riz on my album.
He's crazy. I got put onto him. Do you know Asha Amuno? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I heard him on his album. I was like, bro, this is sick.
Yeah. Wait till you hear him on this one.
Oh, I did.
You heard him on this one?
I heard it, bro. Fucking crazy.
He said, yeah, so you know, yeah, he crazy. Yeah, bro, I'm just, it's like, the way I'm doing everything, there's always gonna be new artists.
Yeah.
So ain't shit stopping this motherfucking train, bro.
Because you got in with like a small, like little community, like the Saba, that small little Chicago community. I feel like it's all like, they're all connected, so like it's easy just to work with all of them.
Yeah, it's easy to work with him now, especially now too, which is cool, because I've known Saba for like 11 years probably.
Damn.
And
11 years. That what?
2013 we got together.
That's when.
Comfort Zone.
Yeah, Comfort Zone.
I did a song. I did a song on that project, and seeing him grow and be who he is and who he really is, who he's going to be.
Yeah.
He's one of the best. Period. So it's just cool, man. It's just cool, man. And I'm grateful, bro. I'll talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, I know sometimes just the competitive nature in me.
Yeah.
Talk shit because I do feel like, but you don't have to be self-proclaimed anything. The people gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
And the music gonna say that shit. Because then when I walk in,
and that's the most fulfilling part.
And that's it. They know what's up, and there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
And they don't know they hear this shit. It's levels.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really give a fuck about none of them. There's some people that is popular on Twitch. There's some producers that shit, bro. Y'all go ahead and do that. And it's like, it's like y'all, you know, it's levels.
But
bro.
let me ask, bro.
Ain't nobody
like,
even thinking about that shit.
The same way you have, before we get into your music, the same way you have an ear for artists, I'm curious, like, are there any new producers that you're like, yo, yeah, they're tough?
I'm trying to think who's new. I mean, it might be, hell yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of people I know that are amazing. Beat Butcher's amazing. Los Angeles, Coop the Truth's amazing. There's a guy named Grant LaPointe that's fire. David Phelps. There's so many people that I work with. You know, there's a lot of people. You know, Ben Lusher, Matt Hines, all these people that I know that are amazing. That are probably new to you guys, but I know them for forever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Monty Booker.
Monty. Yeah. I know Monty, man. I know Monty for a long time.
Yeah.
To me, he ain't new because I've known him for like
but he's
11
like
years. But he's new work. He's incredible. I love him.
The way that like he was able to make his own sound and then make that available to the public and drum kits, bro, that was crazy.
And that's how you win, bro, as a producer. Build it with an artist and pop it. If you can get an artist popping as a producer, that's when you build all your leverage.
Do you know, let me put you on, do you know Overcast?
Yeah, I heard Overcast. Dope.
Okay, yeah, he's fire. You can look at, there's another one. The way he uses space in his samples is...
Who?
Sino.
Honorable Sino?
No, Sino.
Oh, Sino, no.
He's not that but he's... I'll send you shit later.
Yeah, show me
fucking
shit.
Crazy, bro.
Dope, man.
I wanted to ask, growing up, what's like your fondest childhood memory? Like when you think about your childhood, what do you think of?
My childhood, I think my fondest childhood memory, bro, just early on, probably just playing basketball, man, and just playing a lot of basketball, watching Batman.
Yeah.
Fucking watching the Bulls. Being a kid, bro, like I said, I still got to be able to be a kid.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as I grew up, growing older, the internet, you know what I'm saying? Found the internet, but yeah.
Because it's crazy that, like, bro, you blink your eyes and, like, you wake up and you're like, fuck, I'm 29, 35.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't grow up too soon. What was the idea behind it?
Healing the inner child. when I won that first Grammy, my parents, they had found these tapes of us when we were little kids, me and my brother, and it was only 3 of them that they found that we have. But I think once I hadn't seen myself as a child since I was a kid, so it was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
And also,
right.
it was a little weird. Just because it's like you almost forget about that part of your life. I mean, you forget about that little kid because you've seen him, you know. And also, it was like more of a, for me, I've been running from a lot of shit that I'm still carrying from my childhood. That's kind of like I'm still carrying things from my childhood that I should have already like dealt with.
Yeah.
Because they don't serve you as an adult, and it affects your relationships. It affects a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And you try to figure out what is it that's making me keep fucking up in this area. And it's like, you're not.
It's deep rooted.
You're scared to go in there. So that fear will make
Is that
you
the
not,
monster?
That's the monster. And the monster is like the fear. And the monster's not even that scary. Because a lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes it's not even that scary. You gotta go in there. And
you just have to face it.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost like your shadow, right? And be cool with them. So that's why I put the monster there. And it was more of inspiration from a picture of Muhammad Ali knocking out, I think it was Cleveland Brown, I think his name is, or Cleveland Williams, a boxer, and he's laid out on the canvas, on the boxing canvas, laid out like that. And I was like, damn, this picture's so iconic. And then for some reason, my iTunes on my playlist had that picture as on my playlist for my album as I'm building it, just randomly.
AI was listening.
I'm like, damn, this is dope as fuck. And I'm like, how could I because as I was thinking about what the cover would be like, I said, yo, you know what? I'm gonna flip this picture sort of a canvas, a sandbox, and there's a little boy knocking out this monster, right?
Yeah.
Playfully, right? Because essentially you're cool now with that shadow, and there's just kids around looking like a fight's going on, and that was the cover. And my friend Alina, and she's in Paris. She actually did that oil painting. She did all the artwork for the whole rollout, for all the albums.
It's super intentional.
Everything's intentional. Everything's there for a reason, for a place, for a reason, and it's important to build a world. People will appreciate that, because a lot of people are lazy, man, and they just drop shit, just drop it, and they forget that it should be an experience.
You gotta give a theme to the rollout.
It should be an experience.
Because I wish we had enough time to talk about the other album, but I realized, minus the bullshit,
Life's Great.
You had the song, the album, Don't Grow Up.
Too Soon,
Yeah.
The name of a beat, yeah.
So was this album like
already ready? Yeah, it was already. The first 3 were already in my head. Already, first 3 albums were already.
But what made it feel like, okay, now is the right time for Don't Grow Up?
Because of what I went through with my parents, when they kind of like almost apologized for like being like, hey man, we weren't the best, like, because they saw in those videos like, damn, you know what, we could have did a little bit better, right, as a parent, whatever. And so then as I'm going through that, right, I'm like, okay, now I can make this album because now it's authentic and people gonna know it's real and authentic because you're gonna feel it. But also, as you get older, you empathize with your parents more because you realize that, you know, my parents were young when they had me, so you kind of, and so their mom was 18, my dad was 21. Yeah. So you start to realize, like, damn, bro, you don't know shit at 21. Like, I was an asshole at 21, bro. So imagine me having a kid with 21. I'd be the worst. My kid be all fucked up, bro. But it's like, it's empathizing and be like, you know what, damn, bro, they tried their best, and I really wasn't that whatever, and you understand them better.
Yeah.
And that's understanding led me to be like, all right, cool. Now I can do it.
What is going on, guys? Just checking in real quick because the rest of the footage corrupted as soon as we started talking about his album. So I had to hit up my guy again to get the full story out. And big shout out to the Moody Vegan in Hollywood for giving us a space to record the interview. You can find their links below in the description. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. We gotta redo this shit halfway because I came back to Dallas.
A little technical difficulties.
Big technical difficulties. No, it's crazy because like I opened the SD card, and on the main angle, your shit wasn't there, and on the side angle, like almost to the minute, that part wasn't there either. So I was like, damn, this is God saying we got to do this again.
Yeah, come again for
I
sure.
appreciate you coming through.
I caught you. Caught me on a very, a great day today.
I caught you before the album.
Yeah.
And now it's out.
It's out now, yeah.
How's it feel?
Amazing, very grateful. Like I'm not trying to get caught up in the moment of like I appreciate the comments and like the feedback.
Yeah.
But I also know that like time will tell if it's really a classic and if it's all the things I'm hearing.
If it like resonates.
Well, I know it's resonating,
Yeah.
but like because I can't move the goalposts for me. Cause I hate when things get hyped up. Like, oh, like, first day out, classics. It's like classics take time has to pass. So I gotta apply that same, at least in my head, I gotta apply that same rule to myself. But I'm very grateful because like I know the music is resonating, and that was the goal from the start. You know what I'm saying?
What was your favorite response so far about the album? From like shopping around, hearing from the fans were saying, like, did you have a favorite moment from the album that a fan said, oh, like I fucked with this moment too, and you're like, damn, okay, you guys got that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I had this guy DM me the other day, man. I screenshotted it. He told me like, he's like, man, I hope I don't sound corny, man, but like this saved my life.
Damn.
But like I was like, damn, bro. But also like comments like, oh, like this is super inspirational. Like, damn, I teared up at this part, or like, man, this is so a masterpiece. Like, or like even like people like kind of like understanding why I put Jordan Wood and Riz on the song together.
Yeah.
And appreciating like the moment that what I did. So like again, like it's just confirmation of that it resonates, and like that's the goal. You know what I mean from the start. Anything else is gonna be extra. We're open for it. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point. Why we do this. Why I make this music and why I do this is for legacy purposes.
Yeah, I think one thing we were talking about before that I think producers are the best world builders, and you said something interesting yourself, like combining two worlds together, because that in itself takes a skill, and that's something like throughout the album that I noticed that like even the way it starts off, it'll start off like really like aggressive, but then it goes like more soulful. Like you have like Plato Plumo at the beginning, and then you have like Brown Eyes, which honestly right now that's my favorite song.
Brown Eyes,
yeah. When you're thinking about like finding two worlds to complement each other, because you also have like a bunch of UK artists on the album.
Yeah.
Like, is it like when you're sitting down and you're making the beat, you're thinking about like, oh, maybe this person can bring their little piece into my world, or how does that go?
Yeah, I think I'm looking for textures, things that complement. It's like almost like cooking, It's like, like knowing sometimes you need salt and pepper. You don't need to put but sometimes you do need to add a bunch of stuff. My thing is definitely minimalism because it allows the artist to have more of a space to do what they want. And then you can always add, but you can't take out. You know what I'm saying? You can always add.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to subtract.
Especially when in the creative process. A lot of the features, like it was just me, just kind of going through life and like or me meeting people on the way and kind of like just letting things happen organically. And then just saying, oh, you know what, this would be cool with this, and that could be cool with that.
So none of the features on the album were you calling in for a favor?
I mean, the whole album was a favor.
No, but I'm saying like it all came organically. It wasn't that like.
Yeah, I mean like Jordan already knew.
Yeah.
But Nux, like I introduced to him, worked with him, we hit it off, asked him to be on the album, he was cool with it. Like you know what I mean? The only one that I really had to like Paul Wall and Maxo were like, those are specific asks. Like, oh, I need this on my album. Absol, another one. But for the most part, everybody that I worked with, I already worked with before, or I was working with, started working with, and I just felt like it would make sense.
The album's really around nostalgia in your childhood. As a producer, when you're thinking about nostalgia and making the beats for the album, what sounds are you picking out to get that feeling? Because one thing that you did, and honestly, I listened to it on the album, and I went back to, because we talked about Hurricane, and I went back to the sample on Hurricane. And you do something really interesting the way like you process like vocal samples. It sounds like a little like stretched out. I don't know, like. So I wanted to ask, like, when you're thinking about nostalgia, what sounds are you like immediately going for, like drums or samples?
Yeah, I mean sometimes the drums could sound dirty, right? A little dirty, but they hit. Sometimes I have the texture of like nature sounds I put underneath on good days.
Yeah.
It's really subtle. It's like a playground, really subtle. You don't know what it is, it's kind of there. Sometimes a lot of maybe like actual instruments, like maybe like on the intro and the outro, the Moog synthesizer.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave like a Stevie Wonder vibe. And then strings are always going to create some sort of evoke that emotion, right? Like a cinematic, almost even nostalgic feel. So you put all that together. That's how that's how I get it, how I do it. But there is no real like. It's just like more of like it's like a second nature thing. It's not really.
Yeah, you're not thinking about it.
More instinct, than it is like calculated.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
When you were making the album, because I remember we were talking earlier and you said like you knew you were gonna make this album, and then you have the album coming next, which is
The third one?
yeah, the third one. What was it called again?
It's called Already Won. They just forgot to clap.
That's a hard ass name. For this album, at what point did you like when you were producing and making the songs? Did you feel like okay, like I have enough down to actually go with this idea? Because I knew this was an album that you wanted to do, like even talking about before.
Yeah, it was a title that I liked. But like I said before, it was more of a, I didn't know how I was gonna do it or what the concept was gonna be.
Yeah.
Until I actually got hit with it in real life, and I was like, all right, cool, this is time. And then it's like when we're put under stress, man, and we're put under these like having to deal with these traumas, right?
Yeah.
Also at that time, just going through life shit, it pushes you to make the best art because it's coming from a place of like you feel
Like
that
vulnerable.
Shit. You're vulnerable and so you have to transmute that energy into something positive. A lot of people they transmute it into things that don't serve them, vices or just being nasty people. But like if you're doing it the right way, you're transmuting it to something positive. And I knew that I had to do that for this one. So and then it's authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why the music sounds how it sounds.
Was there like a specific reason why it starts off like really aggressive with like the trap drums, and then gets a little more soulful towards the end?
It's an arc. It's like a story arc. It's a character arc. It's the first. It's aggressive. It's hard. It's the thing. You're on the shadow, or whatever. And then as you start going deeper into what you need to look at, it gets a little softer because you're healing. In a sense, right? In my world, it's like the arc is healing. It's getting softer. You're healing, and you're finally becoming, coming to terms with it or whatever. And that was something that I realized as I was arranging and sequencing the album, that it was giving me that feel of like it was starting off aggressive and ending off a little softer.
Would you have like a specific studio moment where you're like, shit, okay, we have something with this album? Or like your favorite studio moment?
Probably when I did the strings in Detroit. I heard all the string arrangements for most of the songs.
Yeah.
And then when I made the intro in my house, and when Absol recorded the first song.
Wait, was that in person? Or?
Yeah, it was in person.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And when I heard him do the verse, I was like, oh shit. I was like, we all believe in whatever we believe in.
Yeah.
But when you feel a higher power in the process, it feels different. And you feel like it just feels different. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a feeling you feel. When we did Big Brown Eyes, I was like,
I love that song.
I was like, this song is cool. I'm incredible. When we did You're a Star, and it's like everything started lining up. It just felt special, and who knows why things line up? They line up because who knows why.
And you mentioned, this is completely irrelevant to the album, you mentioned it a lot. Like, if you want me to ask you, like, what do you think is up there? You're always like higher power.
It's I think that we're just connected, like as creators, man. We have an antenna, and then we're connected to a source that gives us, like our ego is saying it's us, but really it's something out there that is giving us this shit. It's like it's like a freak. You got to tune into it. It's like if 107.5 was the radio station.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might be at 107.3, you might be 107.6. You kind of get in
a
little bit.
Yeah.
But once you dial into 107.5, that motherfucker, you see it.
You tuned in.
You tuned in. And that might take work within yourself to tune into the right whatever it is you're doing. There's some shit you can't explain, And I think that when you are in it for the right reasons, man, and when you know what you're doing it for, then it just lines up for you. But we're just like the receptors,
The last song on the album is a skit, and I really like what he was saying. Well, I don't know if it was a skit, but it was like the outro.
Outro, yeah.
Yeah, where he was saying that like, don't grow up too soon. Like, you have to remember to live. So one thing that I wanted to ask you is that like, we all want to hang on to like the inner child in us, but like life shit gets in the way. Like when you grow older, you have more responsibilities and more life shit just happening the way. So I wanted to ask like, how do you like come to grasp like keeping that inner kid in you?
I mean, I create all day, so it's like almost like a little playground. It's a playground. I think that's why it keeps us creators so young and youthful in energies, because we're creating. I don't know, man. Like going to basketball games, going to buses. I don't know, like just like doing shit, normal, regular shit, man. Just like sometimes you need to like. I still play GTA. I still play video games. Like, I'm still not forgetting about that part of me, because like you said, you get caught up in life and bullshit, and you forget about that. And like some of us don't have the luxury or didn't have the luxury to have a childhood. I had a childhood, but some people didn't have a childhood.
Yeah.
They had to grow very fast. So I think you owe it to yourself to at least have that phase of your life, you know.
How was bringing back the album back home? Because I know you just did a little press tour.
Yeah.
How was that like going to Chicago and
It was
seeing
dope,
it?
man. It was that was I saw so many people that I hadn't seen in a long time. I got to hear my music in the city back home, and it felt like home. I mean, the album feels like home. So hearing it at home was
Did it bring like a new context to it?
100%. I heard the Farrah Fox song that I did with Duckworth.
Yeah.
I heard it in the club, and I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. I was like, this shit hard. I'm like, I mean, I knew it was hard, but when I heard it live, I was like, we were vibing, so I was like, yo, I'm like, it just, man, you know, like I said, it's like it's just a testament of like, I do what the fuck I want.
Facts.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How was being Paul Wall?
He's the nicest guy. He's the best. He's one of the best people. And he offered to pick me over to the airport. I was like, damn.
Oh, no way. That's
I was
sick.
like, bro, I'm like, my boys are on the way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, like, you know, but he offered to make me a grill. I want my first grill by Paul Wall. He's the best, bro. He's honestly such a great person, and I'm very grateful.
Because I knew, like, before even this album, you said the two people you wanted to work with were Paul and
Maxwell, right?
No, it was Mariba.
Mariba, oh man, I really want to work with Mariba so bad, and I reached out to her. I think I DM'd her. Actually, yeah, let's do it. Like it was, you know what I mean?
Oh, it was easy.
Yeah, easy. So we did it, and it was dope. So but it was getting in with her was really really fun, and she's the best.
There's a lot of producers that follow you for right reasons, and I started off the first interview we did the same way I want to end it this time.
Yeah.
You're a fucking legend.
Thank you, bro.
If there's one thing you want fans to come out the album, what is it?
Looking inside is not as scary as you think it is. And give your shadow a little bit of grace.
I think that's a beautiful way to end.
Yeah.
My guy, I appreciate you coming for the second time.
You already know, man. We need this motherfucker. What's up?
Where can people find you at?
You can find me everywhere, man. You in the world. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you, bro.